Pope Francis, a leader for ecological justice. Pope Francis has emerged as one of the leading voices on environmental issues, particularly through his landmark encyclical Laudato Si, which calls for urgent action to address climate change and protect the natural world. His teachings have resonated not only within the Catholic Church but also across various religious, political, and cultural boundaries, making him a powerful advocate for ecological justice. At the heart of Pope Francis' message is the belief that caring for the environment is not just a matter of personal responsibility but a moral imperative. Laudato Si emphasizes the intrinsic connection between environmental degradation and social inequality, pointing out that the most vulnerable communities are often the hardest hit by climate change, pollution, and deforestation. Pope Francis stresses that the destruction of our planet is not just a matter of ecological concern but one of justice, because it disproportionately affects the poor, who have the least resources to adapt to environmental changes. One of the key aspects of Pope Francis' ecological advocacy is his call for a culture of care. He urges individuals, businesses, and governments to recognize their responsibility in caring for the planet and its resources. He challenges us to rethink our consumption habits and to live more sustainably, emphasizing that a throwaway culture, which values convenience over responsibility, is a significant contributor to environmental harm. In Laudato Si, Pope Francis writes, "The earth, our home, is beginning to look more and more like an immense pile of filth." He warns that humanity's disregard for the environment is leading to the destruction of ecosystems, the extinction of species, and the depletion of vital resources. He calls for a transformation in how we relate to the environment, urging a shift from exploitation to stewardship. For Pope Francis, caring for the earth is an expression of our faith, a way to honor God's creation and fulfill our moral obligations to future generations. The Pope also calls for global cooperation in addressing ecological crises. He stresses that nations must work together to combat climate change and address issues such as pollution, deforestation, and loss of biodiversity. His advocacy extends to issues such as sustainable development, energy use, and the protection of water resources, recognizing that environmental harm knows no borders and that effective solutions require collective action. Pope Francis' commitment to ecological justice has been demonstrated through his own actions as well. He has taken steps to reduce the Vatican's environmental impact, including efforts to reduce energy consumption, recycle, and use renewable energy sources. His example encourages Catholics and others to live more sustainably and take practical steps toward protecting the environment. The Pope's message is also about hope and renewal. In Laudato Si, he invites the world to embrace a new vision of the future, one in which humanity works together to create a just and sustainable world for all. He believes that through solidarity, respect for creation, and sustainable living, we can build a better world for future generations. In conclusion, Pope Francis has become a leading advocate for ecological justice, urging individuals, governments, and organizations to take meaningful action to protect the environment. His message in Laudato Si is clear: caring for the earth is not just an environmental issue, but a moral issue that affects the well-being of all humanity, especially the poor and vulnerable. As we face an increasingly uncertain future due to climate change and environmental degradation, Pope Francis' leadership reminds us that it is our responsibility to protect and preserve the planet for future generations.